Welcome to this QuickBooks 2021 tutorial for beginners on how to enter opening balances when you've already been in business. My name is Matt Holquist with the QuickBooks University. And before we get started, hey, if this video is helpful, please like it and also please subscribe. Also, when you're ready to take your QuickBooks learning to the next level, head over to the QuickBooks University at qbuniversity.org, where you not only get the full training masterclass, but I also answer all of your personal QuickBooks questions. Okay, so let's get started on this video. You can see here on the screen, I have a zero balance sheet. So a question I get a lot is, okay, I've already been in business. How do I enter my opening balances? Now, the first way is when you're creating your chart of accounts and you set up an account, you can enter a balance. There's a box there that says, opening balance as of this date when you're starting your QuickBooks file, and you can enter it there. But what's going to happen is it's going to put a plug in QuickBooks to an account called opening balance equity. Now, that is just a plug account. It's an equity account, and at some point you're going to want to get it out of there. So when you have been in business and you need to enter those opening balances, I'm going to show you a much better way to do that to make sure that your books are correct. Okay, so you see here, I've got this blank balance sheet up on the screen. This is as of December 31st, 2019 in this sample company file. There is nothing recorded as of December 31st, 2019. All right, so the first thing that you have to do, and I'm going to pull up this Excel file here. So I have made a mock balance sheet. So you are going to have to go get your balance sheet for your business as of the ending date right before you start using QuickBooks. It's usually better to start at the beginning of a year, whether that's calendar year, fiscal year for your business. And the reason is because you want to get that ending balance sheet, whether it's from another computer program, whether it's from your tax return, an accountant, whatever it is, but get your hands on that ending balance sheet. Okay, so I have this balance sheet as of 12/31/18 because I'm going to start recording as of 1/1/2019 in this example. So the first thing is get your balance sheet, however you need to get that. Okay, now the second thing is I have this list of other items. Okay, so if I go back to the balance sheet, you can see here we've got checking account, $24,000, accounts receivable, $42,000. We have some other assets, and then we have accounts payable, loans, and retained earnings. Okay, and it all balances. Total assets, $77,500. Total liabilities and equity, $77,500. So these other items that I have here, and you'll understand why this is important here in just a minute. You want to look up on your final bank reconciliation, what uncleared items did you have? All right, so in this case, we have uncleared checks as of 12/31/18, $1,200 and $50. These are the check numbers. Accounts receivable is made up of two different accounts receivable, $20,000 and $22,000. So you can see that total equals $42,000 accounts receivable. And then accounts payable as of 12/31/18, we have these vendors, Fay and Kershaw, for $2,000 and $6,000. And that total of $8,000 equals our accounts payable, okay? So we want to record those a little bit differently than how I show you how to record this. And all this will come together in the end. All right, so if we take this and we go over to QuickBooks, and I'm going to be going back and forth a little bit here. The best thing that you can do is to record a journal entry for all these opening balances, except for checking account's going to be a little bit different, and then accounts receivable and accounts payable, we want to enter the bills in QuickBooks, and we want to enter those accounts receivable. Here's why. Because as of 1/1/2019 for accounts receivable, if you receive a payment, but you just put a journal entry in for QuickBooks, you can't apply that payment to a specific customer. So we want to enter the actual invoice in QuickBooks so that we can receive a payment against it in QuickBooks so that it reflects against that customer. Same thing with accounts payable. You're going to have these bills to pay. If you just do a journal entry for the accounts payable of $8,000, you're not going to have any bill to pay in QuickBooks to be able to clear that out. So we want to enter those bills. And then any uncleared checks, you definitely want to enter those because when you go to reconcile your bank account for the first time in January 2019 in this example, you're going to want to check off those checks. Okay, so let's walk through this step by step. The first thing is we want to go to Company, drop-down menu, and we want to go to Make General Journal Entries. Okay. So the first thing is when we come over here to do a journal entry is we want to enter the balance sheet that we have over here in the Excel file. All right, so the first account is checking and its balance is $24,000. All right, so if we go back over to QuickBooks, we're going to say checking. And now we have the $24,000, but we also have some uncleared checks. All right, so we have uncleared checks of $1,200 and $50. Okay, so we go back over to QuickBooks, and when you enter the checking account, a debit increases it. So we say 24,000 plus 1,200 plus 50. Now you may be saying, well, why are you adding that to the balance? Because these are uncleared checks. The reason is because we're going to enter the checks into QuickBooks, and it'll bring that balance back down to the 24,000 where it should be. Okay, follow me here. Okay, so the next one is accounts receivable. We don't want to enter anything for accounts receivable because we're going to enter those actual invoices. So let's go back to balance sheet. So our next one is a security deposit of $500. This one is pretty straightforward. We're going to say security deposit, $500. Okay. Now, if I go back over here, we're going to say furniture and equipment, $10,000. Furniture and equipment, $10,000. Okay, the next one is machinery. So let's go up here, and that was $5,000. Okay, so there's no account in here for machinery, so let's check this out. All right. So we will create one. So it's 15,000. We'll say 15,050. All right, this is a fixed asset. And we're going to say 15,050. And we're going to say machinery. Okay, and I don't believe that's a sub account of anything. Nope. So we will uncheck that and we'll say machinery. $5,000. I believe the next one was accumulated depreciation. So since that's a negative here, that's going to be a credit. So $4,000. Okay. Now next, okay, we've got accounts payable. But again, just like accounts receivable, we're not going to enter that because we're going to enter the bills. All right, so let's go back over here. We'll say the next one is machinery loan, $3,000. So let me go back to QuickBooks. And let's see what loans that I have in the sample company file. All right, again, if you do not have, okay, we'll say it's construction equipment. Okay, and this loan, whoops, let me go here, is $3,000. Now, all liabilities, to increase them, you do a credit. Just like the assets, you do a debit to increase liabilities, you do a credit to increase. All right, and then the last one here on the balance sheet is note payable, $11,000. Okay, so let me find a note payable here. And we'll say note payable, Bank of any city, 11,000. Oops. Now, so you've got this difference of $22,750. This is going to go to retained earnings. All right, now, so you may say, well, this does not match the balance sheet that you have. All right, let me find retained earnings on here. Here we go. It doesn't match. That's okay, because we still have to go in and record these other items. Okay, so I'll pull up a balance sheet when we're all done. I'll show you how this matches. Okay. So let's go here, retained earnings, $22,750, and we can say here to record opening balances. Okay. Okay, so once you do this, you're just going to hit save and close, and it's going to say you're about to post a retained earnings. Are you sure you want to? It's okay. You can say click OK. I'm not doing class tracking, so we're going to save anyway. All right, so you can see here, here's all our entries. We've got $25,250 of cash, our fixed assets, security deposits, then we have our loans and our retained earnings. Now, we have to get this balance sheet to match this balance sheet here. So the next step is we want to enter these other items. So we have 1346, check 1346 for 1,200 bucks, 1347 for 50. All right, so let's go back over here. You're going to look up when you actually wrote those checks. All right, so let's say that it was, this is balance sheet as of December 31st, 2019. Let's say it was December 30th. It's got to be sometime before December 31st, 2019. So I'm going to go to banking and I'm going to go to write checks and I'm going to physically enter these checks. So it's coming out of the checking account. All right, let me look at these check numbers again. This is 1346. Check 1346. And you're just going to say who it's for. So we'll say Galleon Masonry for $1,200. And we want to make sure that this date, we'll say 12/20/2019 is before then. And you want to put it to the account that it's supposed to go to. Okay, so if this was an expense, we'll just say job materials. All right, we're not doing any class tracking. So let's save and new. Save anyway. And now we want to do the next one, 1347. We'll change the date, 12/26/2019. And this one is to Jennifer Ron for $50. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Let's see. Yep, check numbers. I thought I had some names on those, but I don't. All right, so this one is for, we'll say that this is for, let's see, building repairs, $50. Okay, so we have our two checks. The next thing we have to do is go in and record those accounts receivable. So you see now when I recorded those checks, it brought my checking balance down to $24,000. See how I was talking about before? You add those uncleared checks to your checking balance, and then when you enter the uncleared checks, it brings it back down to $24,000. Okay? All right, next step, we got to record our accounts receivable. So we're going to go to customers and create invoices. So let's go over here. We're going to see on our create invoices, we got Abercrombie for 20. So let's see, we're going to choose Christy Abercrombie, and we are not doing it from an estimate, class, etc. You want to make sure that you enter this before that ending balance sheet date. 2019, you're going to enter the actual invoice number that you used, and you're going to put in all the details. We're going to say that this is $20,000, okay, amount $20,000, and make sure that everything matches, that your actual invoice showed. So we'll say save and new, and the next one is going to be the Bauman, Mark Bauman. Okay, this is going to be 12/20/2019. Assume this is invoice number 1109. And we'll say this is floor plans, expensive floor plans for $22,000. All right. So you see now we have our accounts receivable of $42,000 on our balance sheet. And when that customer pays, we can offset it directly against the invoice that we just recorded. All right, last step in making sure your balance sheet matches is to enter those accounts payable. So we're going to go to vendors and we're going to say enter bills. And let's go over here and we want to say, okay, accounts payable 12/31, Fay and Kershaw, okay? And these should say 12/31/19, okay? So just make sure these are as of 12/31/19. All right, so the first one is Fay, and for $2,000. So let's go back over here and we're going to say Fay, Maureen Lynn Fay. Make sure the date is before December 31st. You put in the invoice number, and it was $2,000 to Maureen. We're going to say that this was for professional fees. Save and new. And then this last one is to Kershaw for $6,000. So let's put in Kershaw. Computer services, and this is 12/23/2019, invoice number, and $6,000. Okay, repairs, computer repairs, all looks good. Save and close. Okay, So now we entered all our accounts payable, all accounts receivable, and all these uncleared checks. We look at our balance sheet. Voila. Here are the opening balances for our balance sheet. Now we can start entering things as of 1/1/2020, just like we would under normal running QuickBooks. Now, if you would have entered this as opening balance equity, like when you're creating the accounts, your balance sheet's going to get all jacked up and it's not going to be right. This is going to be the correct way to do this. It can be a little bit confusing, but once you get the hang of it, you definitely will be thankful that you were able to enter that ending balance sheet. And your CPA or your accountant's going to be super happy as well. All right, any questions, any comments, please feel free to leave those below. Also, head over to the QuickBooks University, sign up there, qbuniversity.org, and I can answer all your very specific QuickBooks questions. You're not going to get that anywhere else unless you're getting charged an hourly fee, and we don't do that over there. Again, qbuniversity.org. Also subscribe, like the video. Thanks so much.